Okay, so welcome everyone. Marie, welcome from out of our area. So glad to have a guest here today, and the rest of you, thank you so much for taking time. And I will introduce Linda Gillis. Linda is a member of SI Clovis, and she is our Region Dream It Be It Chair, finishing up her third year. She has one more just covered. So I will turn it over to you, Linda.
Okay, so I'm going to try to master technology here and share my screen. And please don't hesitate. I think Judy will be able to see if something comes up in the chat, and you can stop me if they have questions or something.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And beginning. It takes a minute to load, so okay, now you can see it. Okay. All right, can you all see that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so hi, that's me with my hair combed better in that picture. So as Judy said, I'm the Sierra Pacific Region Dream It Be It Chair, and then I'm also co-chairing Clovis, SI Clovis's Dream It Be It, and this will be I think this was our 6th year of doing it, and I have a co-chair this year, and somebody else is taking it over because I'm going to be president next year. So welcome. I hope I can give you some good information tonight. So you've already done both of those things. So I'm going to go on to the next slide. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to review resources, because I know the SIA site is overwhelming. There's a lot of things there, and there's multiple ways to get to things. So I'm going to go over some of that, and then how to get started with the whole process, and then go into forming those partnerships, and then I'll take questions. And if you want to ask questions during it, it's fine. I'll just have Judy say, stop, Linda, I have a question. Okay. So first, I'm going to see if I can make this top part disappear. Can I? Maybe not. Okay. All right. The first step, have all of you hopefully have already been on to the SIA site and gone to the Dream It Be It information, but I'm going to review that real quickly if you haven't. So you log into seroptimus.org, and then you go to for clubs and members, and this cute picture of these 3 ladies is going to come up. And then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to log into the Dream It Be It rectangle, and that's going to take you to all the information that they have. And there's a lot of links embedded into that once you go into it. So what I did is I picked out 4 areas, folders within their club resources for Dream It Be It that I thought were crucial to trying to develop partnerships. So we're going to look at the research and impact folder, the planning folder, the raising awareness, and then club success stories. Now, the other 2, the curriculum, of course, is really important, but if you don't have your partners and you don't have your conference or your small group set up, you're not going to need the curriculum. So we're not going to go over that at all tonight, or the reporting and evaluation, unless at the end you have specific questions about those. So the first thing we're going to do is dig into the planning folder. So when you open that planning folder, they have a form that looks like this that says, how can I participate in Dream It Be It? And this resource provides a summary of steps. I've highlighted steps that I think are important at the beginning. So they have these numbered, but I don't necessarily think that they go in this order. So The first thing is forming a planning committee. We're going to look at research and available resources, conducting a community assessment, creating a budget and raising funds, and identifying community partners. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to form a planning committee. So you're going to introduce this to other volunteers in your club, but don't be afraid to go outside of your club and talk about it with non-members too. I'm going to use my club and what we do. And if any of you've done something different that you think is great, please share it. But when we had our event, it was a one-day conference and we needed 20 table facilitators. We had 4 girls at each table. So I would say about a quarter of our facilitators were non-members. Now, the nice thing is some of them decided to join after this. So you also want to be sure that the people that you get on your planning committee are really passionate and dedicated volunteers that are willing to really be involved and drive that planning and implementation and the evaluation of the project. It's not just a real passive thing. There's a lot of working parts to a Dream It Be It program. And so you really need people that are willing to get in there and roll up their sleeves. The other thing is the research and resources. So I've shown on here the global impact infographic that they have in that section. And it's really a nice printout and it's pretty much up to date. It's the 21-22 impact. And I have found that this is a really good thing to hand out or to email to people that you're hoping to maybe entice into being a partner with you. There's also a video on the SIA site that is specifically about Dream It Be It, but I watched it the other day and what I noticed is it's kind of back from the very beginning. It's very good, but a lot of the numbers that they talk about and all and the impact are old. So you can certainly show that. It's excellent. But then I've also, I'm going to play a short video of a Dream It Be It conference. And this is something that you can access and share with people to just show them what it might look like if you were doing a one-day conference. And some of you may have had a videographer video yours too. And I know that the Sierras have a video up that you could probably access. This particular video that I'm going to show you is on the Clovis.org website, and it's on our YouTube channel. But I'm going to show this to you. So hopefully this is going to work right. And you tell me if it needs to be louder.
A diamond is a lump of coal that has endured extreme pressure over a great length of time. And diamonds are beautiful, they're precious, and they are one of the strongest substances known to man.
I enjoyed the conferences because they helped me realize that everyone goes through obstacles and I'm not alone in any given situation, that there's always people in my corner. I just kind of need to ask for help and they'll always be there.
It made me feel a lot better to know that other people want to do the same things and like have better goals. Like it helps me to like listen to other people and how they'll get through it so I can figure out my own way to do it.
feel like this actually helped me open up my view a little bit more and feel like everything is okay and be able to speak my mind and, you know, tell other people how I feel and just share new things and learn from each other.
At my table, I heard a lot of people talking about after high school. Originally, I was thinking of taking a break from like high school, but when I heard people like you could get like encouraged in continuing your school life, so I probably might change it.
We had booths with each careers, and it helped me really figure out which career I wanted to go into. It just really helped me out as an individual, and it helped me grow. And now I'm about to finish college and transfer into a nursing program. And yeah.
I really loved making my dream board because I enjoyed putting what I want to do in life and what kind of goals I want to achieve. So I added like some nursing, medical stuff on there. And then I added like, you know, later on in my future, I want to have a little family. So I put a little family on there.
I put like a bunch of stuff about writing, and then I drew a book, and then somebody wearing like a cap and gown. And yeah, it was actually fun making it.
It was fun meeting everyone and just being able to interact, because sometimes I can be like a shy person. I kind of keep to myself, but I like going out and talking to people too.
The event was great. I like how everything was set up. And so I think they did a really good job. I've enjoyed it better than being in class.
I feel like I'm more driven now to like work towards my goal.
You know, I can make a difference out there in the world.
The Dream It, Be It really helped me as an individual because it helped me realize that
Okay, so my son is the videographer, and he thought that was hysterical to end it that way. So part of why I wanted to show you that is there were a lot of things that you saw in that are because we have a partnership or several partnerships. So I'll point those things out. You notice that they had t-shirts, and we gave the design to a t-shirt company that our local school district, Clovis Unified School District, uses. And now for 2 years, the alternative ed head counselor who works with a program called Transitions that works with foster, homeless, and at-risk girls and boys has put us into their budget, which is fabulous. So they buy the t-shirts for all of the girls. We buy, our club pays for them for our facilitators and people helping with it. They also, with that partnership, they provide boxed lunches from Panera or another place called Apple Spice for all of the girls. And then we pay for the ones for all of our career people and for our facilitators. The other wonderful thing is that the school district, the head of the print shop, they have a print shop for the district, and they are now printing anything for Seroptimus without any charge for us. So they print our booklets, and even for when we do fundraisers, they'll print those flyers and all for us. Also, we have Kiwanis, the Clovis Kiwanis has made a commitment now for 3 years of just financial support. And so one of the things in that partnership, how we built that, because they didn't initially give us money, but we went and showed films and pictures. And actually the little gal that spoke as the alumni this last year went with me to their 6:30 a.m. meeting. I don't know why they meet quite so early, but we showed that video, and she was there to answer questions, and that increased the amount of money they wanted to give us. So hopefully those are just kind of good things that will help you with ideas about partnerships. So then the next thing is you definitely want to conduct a community assessment. And first I wanted to share with you that the global needs assessment that was done at the very beginning of Dream It Be It, which Judy, maybe you can correct me, is that 7 years ago now? Or do you know?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. So they talked to girls in 19 different countries, and across the board, the main thing that came up is they wanted career support. They just needed information about that. So that's how it all started, was that they did a needs assessment. So then your job at your club level is to do a community assessment. So you can get a lot of this information, may just be people in your club may have information about things that already exist. And you may need to assign people on your committee to go and find out more about, well, what's the Y doing? Are they doing things that have to do with career support? If you're working with a school district, are they doing things specifically that work on career support? If so, how are they doing that? And you really want to ask a lot of questions, because this year I learned something that I was so surprised and quite honestly disappointed about. Since we work a lot with the continuation high school, although the transition program is in existence at all of the high schools and it goes clear down to elementary, they have access to, at the regular sites, they have access to career things that are going on and being taught. And when I asked about Gateway, which is the continuation high school, they don't have access to that. They're not part of that, which I thought, oh my gosh. So I was really glad that we were targeting that. And then a step beyond that, and I'm sure that if any of you are working with school districts, this is probably true for you too. If you're doing your conference or your small group where you're crossing over between schools, so we have 5 regular campuses and then our alternative ed campuses that join together. But there is one campus, a very small one, where girls that have been basically expelled at the time, they cannot go on to another campus. So they could not participate in our event this year because it was held at another high school. So we're looking at doing something separately for them. There are about 10 girls that would be affected by that. So you want to check and see, are there different girls that are attending different schools that maybe don't get access? And this would particularly be true on a weekend. They could come, but on a school day, they might not be able to go on to another campus. You're going to want to find out what the specific needs of the girls in your community are. I know that some open it up to all girls in your community, especially when you have a close-knit community like Hanford or the Sierras. It's opened up to all girls. In our case, because Clovis kind of runs into Fresno and, there's just a lot of different areas, we decided that we wanted to target those at-risk girls specifically. So neither is better than the other. It's just what fits your community better. Then you want to start identifying potential community partners. Who might those be? So in our case, the Kiwanis, and then a new partner. And this might hold true for some of you. We were thrilled with this. The Clovis Unified has something that's called a collaborative that just meets 3 times a year, and we've been invited to go to it. And it's all outside agencies that can provide support to at-risk, both girls and boys. And each time 2 different groups will present at that. And so before our Dream It Be It, one of the groups that was presenting was the Assistance League, and it's the Assistance League of Fresno, and they do shopping sprees. They have a thrift store and all. Well, they just fell in love with Dream It Be It. They thought it was the greatest thing ever. You know, when I talked about it, they do a go around, and they asked if they could come to our event. And as they learned more about it, they ended up offering to do 4 grand prizes for us at the end, because we do tickets all day, you know, for participating in various things, and we have drawings. And they presented 4 girls, just random drawing, with $250 shopping sprees. So $1,000 that they donated for our grand prize. So that was another great community partner. And they kind of at the end of it said, "Oh, would you let us come again next year?" I'm like, yes, absolutely. So those are the kinds of things that you want to try to build. Explore local businesses and groups for financial or material support. So some will just give you money, some will give you a discount, or donate materials that you might want to use at your event. Let's see. So then there are all kinds of community partner things online. If you go to planning, curriculum, evaluation, supplemental resources that are online, a customized community partner proposal is on there that I love. And you can go in and edit a tiny bit on that, depends on what software you have, which we have done. But what I love is that one of the opening statements on this is, "We believe Dream It Be It is a worthwhile investment in the girls' future success. We also believe a partnership with your organization will allow us to most effectively deliver this evidence-based program." And then they go on to explain about it. This has been something that we've gone and handed to people, and that's been a great thing. Another thing that is available there is a letter that is a sponsorship letter that is in Word, and you can edit, you know, who you're giving it to and all, and it just asks if they would want to be a sponsor. And there are other things in there too, but those are the 2 that I think are most useful. So then you're to that building those community partnerships. So during your community assessment, you've identified other organizations, businesses, individuals, and contacts at schools that are working with girls. So you need to be sure you know your community, and every community is going to be different. Then you're going to assign people on your committee are going to contact those potential partners. And I think it's really important, if somebody says, yes, they want to partner with you, then let them be part of helping to select which model you use. So for instance, the school district that we're working with did not feel, because our main target was at the continuation high school and they're trying to catch up on credits, they didn't want something that was going to meet 7 or 8 times. They wanted a one-day conference, they felt was a better way. Now we're offering ongoing mentoring, but it won't take them out of school. There are other other clubs. For instance, I know down in Newport Harbor, they do 7 or 8 meetings at a continuation high school and are actually part of their curriculum. So there's a lot of different ways that you can approach that and maybe going to a potential partner and saying, what works for you? Here are some things. You have to be sure that your club, has the manpower to do, the models that you present. Don't present something and then go, oh, wait a minute, we can't do that. We don't have enough people or something. As I kind of talk to different clubs in our region and in other regions, I'm finding that probably the most popular partnership is with a school district. So you might start by, if you don't have some sort of a connection, finding someone that either is currently working in a school district or is retired from that school district. In our case, I was the only person and I'm a baby optimist. I think this is my 6th year, and I retired from 40 years of teaching special education, and then I work at 2 universities. And so I had that connection with the school district that helped us get our foot in the door. And it now has attracted other retired administrators to join our club. If you don't have that, I would go and really try to form some friendships and partnerships with people working in the schools. Go to some of their meetings. They advertise. Every school district has a program that meets the needs of at-risk, homeless, and foster kids. So you can find out what that is, what it looks like, and ask to meet with the person that's the head of it and start developing a relationship. Now, we did this for 3 or 4 years before they decided to put us in their budget. So it takes time to develop that partnership too. So don't be discouraged if it's just a little bit the first time. So the other organizations that I've heard clubs talk about is the Y. They've partnered with them, and then the close-knit communities certainly that just can put it out to their whole community and all the girls and do it on a weekend. Both the Sierras and Hanford have had great success with that and having girls show up, but then your focus may be a little bit different. When we're doing ours, we are focusing a lot on overcoming obstacles, self-care. I don't know if you noticed in the video that we had SPR, which is a drug rehab place. We had, not only did we have career stations, but we had 4 different booths basically that the girls could just go visit and get information. And we kind of introduced it as, if you know someone that's struggling with drugs or alcohol, or if you are, just go pick up materials. We just made it available to them. And we also had something called Workforce there that helped them get jobs. So let's see. So the last thing is, for a successful partnership, you really need to have clearly defined expectations. You may want to even draft a written agreement to clearly outline the roles and expectations. We, over time, as I shared, who's paying for what, who's getting the t-shirts, which things we're covering. In our case, we have chosen never to have any of the school personnel be table facilitators, because we're really trying to have the girls feel that it is not a school run event, but it's something a little bit different. So they're there, the counselors are there, and if there's anything that comes up that is a possible reportable, that you have a concern about something you've heard, or if there's a behavior issue, then that's when we ask the counselors to step in. But otherwise, they're going around and giving tickets and just chatting with the girls, but they're not running a table. And then communicating with whoever your partners are. And that means ones that are, supporting you financially, ones you're planning the event with, both of those. And just a word of warning, if you're communicating with a school district, the firewalls are getting harder and harder to get through. And even though I worked in the district for ages and am going in and supervising student teachers, recently I've been blocked. My emails are not going through to the district anymore. So you have to be sure you check on that your communication is going through. I also think in-person communication is the most effective. So if you have a way of going in and talking to someone or taking them out for coffee, that's great. Then I have a little star at the bottom there. Be sure that indicators of success have been agreed on by all partners. So what do your partners want to see come out of this? What are they hoping, to have the girls really gain from it? So that the paper that you can hand out that says what the goals of Dream It Be It are, you can decide maybe you're not going to do all 7 of the sessions. You only have to do 1 to make it a Dream It Be It. I can't imagine only doing 1, but you can do that. So you might target with your partners, which things do you think our group that we're targeting will benefit the most from? So you can, just be sure you're on the same page as your partners. So that's it. So please don't hesitate to contact me. You can call me, you can email me. You can ask questions or get ideas, and please share your club successes, because I'm evidently the region chair again next year. And so I like to know about club successes and all to be able to share. So I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to stop sharing and see if you have any questions. All right. So I hope
Linda,
that was helpful.
do you know, are any clubs partnering with Girl Scouts?
Who is asking me that? I can't, I don't see a
Are you
map.
asking me?
Who is asking that?
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Are you
I
asking
do
me?
not
Oh,
know. I have not heard of any, but there could be. I don't know. It might not be a bad idea. I think the other thing is that Girl Scouts now, I know, are allowing boys in, and I know that we too, for Dream It Be It, we can have boys come. You just have to decide how you're going to handle that. I know that down in Newport Harbor, they did have some boys in there. So we have not at this point, but.
Is it, sorry,
Yes.
is it transgender, or is it the Dream It Be It? You mean, are they identifying as boys?
They're boys. They are boys or transgender, either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, because with a smaller community like Oakdale, for me, it feels like, oh, I wish we could just say all children are welcome, because in my mind that helps mothers and that helps women, because you're helping moms.
I think that the main thing that you have to do is you have to look at the curriculum and decide, okay, how are you going to do that it still allows the level of confidentiality and comfortable, the girls being comfortable and the boys being, so you might have to split. So we have not done it. And I can certainly ask Dawn Lemons, who's down in the Newport area, because they had some boys, how they have handled that. And then I'm also on a federation call with Jacqueline, and I'll ask her about it. I know that in some places, like we have women that come to those federation meetings from South America, and they're having a lot more boys in theirs. So I just think you would have to really plan for it,
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to support the girls, but I was like, maybe I can ask Lions Club, can you do an event for the boys while we do this event for the girls or something?
Well, and with the transition program that we work with, they do a boys conference, and they do they call this the girls conference. So, we really haven't crossed that. And certainly I just finished going through all of our evaluations that the girls do, and quite a few of them made comments about it was so comfortable talking openly. People shared, and
Yeah.
I think there is an element of that that might become more difficult if there were boys involved too.
I agree. I
And
agree.
I know we cannot say no, you can't come anymore. So
Oh,
okay, my hair is crazy here. There.
Your hair looks fine. I don't want you to stress over it.
I run my hand in it and it's sticking up. So can I answer?
Don't say that. She needs to come to my beauty salon.
There
I need
you
to,
go.
Linda, I need to come see you. Okay. No,
I
for
should
real.
open it up during conference. I should just say before and after I'll be able to pay my mortgage.
There you go. I like that.
We
So,
digress.
can I answer any other questions? I hope this was helpful, give you some ideas.
I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dogs. I just have a quick question. So one of the things that we started last year that I brought back this year as chair was giving away grants to applicants. So is that like something I'm new to Sir Optimus. It's been 1 year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of clubs do that. We
Okay.
do. When you plan your budget, you kind of want to put a certain amount because we only offer them to seniors that go through the program, and they have to show proof of being enrolled somewhere before we'll give a grant. So for instance, this year we put into our budget $1,000. So if we had the biggest grant we've given to a high school girl has been 500. So we had 1 year where we only had 2 girls respond, and we did 500 each. We had one time where we did 4 for 250. But then since ours are getting bigger, the club said that they would be willing to donate more money to that pot to give more girls grants if that were the case. We just don't always have any idea of how many seniors are going to be attending.
Right.
I have a question, Linda. Sorry, first of all, for attending late. My question was that is the scholarship or the grant, is it only to be offered to seniors?
You know what, that's what most of the clubs that I know of, the reason being that when you're in high school, you don't really have costs for education that, that you're having to spend money on. It's when you're continuing your education. I think that's a club decision. I don't know, Judy, do you have any particular?
Yeah, it's definitely a club decision. I mean, we give out gift cards to anyone that completes the course. It's a lot,
and we give
smaller
tons of
scale
other
than that, but yeah, there's no firm guideline on that. So whatever works for your program.
Yeah. What I would suggest is we have a lot of people donate different things, and we purchase things, and we do drawings throughout the day. And so there's a lot of gift cards and that kind of thing, and that's open to everybody. And then the grand prizes, I don't know if you were on when I talked about that we had 4 $250 shopping sprees that were given to 4 girls, and they could be any, freshman through senior. We've chosen to do seniors for the grants because we wanted to promote that continuing their education. So that's why we do it that way. But again, I do think it's your club. You would need to have a conversation about it. It's your money in your club, and you can decide, how you want to use it.
So when you say grant, you don't mean like you applied for a grant from Sir Optimus International?
No, I'm talking, and the reason I'm using the word grant is as an educator, I don't like using the word to say it's a scholarship, because with some schools, you're asked to report what scholarships you've received, and then it reduces your FAFSA amount, the amount you get. in support. So if you call it a grant, it's just a one-time thing, and basically they can use it on a parking fee, books, whatever, but something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't have to, they can use it for any type of school, tech school, not just college, like trade
Right.
school.
Yep.
Yes,
And
yes. And so
that-
I'd be happy to share our application with you. It's very, several of us have kind of, shared it around and made it our own. So let me know if, just shoot me an email if you want me to share that with you. We asked for 2 letters of recommendation and a little write-up by them. And then the biggest thing is the proof of being enrolled somewhere, either a 2-year, a 4-year, or a vocational school. And particularly because of the girls that we're working with, a lot of them are struggling academically in the continuation high school. So we set the grade point very low. It's just a 2.0 is all. So.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
I said we set the bar low on grade point. We only expect they have to have at least a 2.0 to be considered for the grant going on.
That's
So
great. I want to say, Linda, thank you so much, because I know when I did Dream It Be It, it was not only my first time chairing it, it was my first time attending a Dream It Be It event. And
that's
think
hard, isn't it? That's how I was the first time. It's like
Exactly how I was too.
I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then I read the summary of the curriculum, and I was like, no problem. And then I read the actual curriculum, and I was like, what did I do? I had so many questions. I had like 10 pages of notes. So this was very informative, but thank you, because you helped me be able to, I just want to make Dream It Be It bigger where I'm at. Because there is a need, and that's hard, because we have a lot of people that are maybe not, there's a lot of people that attend our Dream It Be It that are not at risk youth, and that's great. But our community has a lot of at-risk youth, and I want to target them, and that's where I struggle. I don't know how to reach them, because I'm struggling with getting the school district involved or accepting us. Even with the club, I'm like, hey, let's get the girls that need us. I love that we have the girls that don't necessarily need us in participating, but it's really difficult to get those at-risk youth in a small community, I guess, or any community. I don't know.
And it's hard. What we found the first 2 years we did it on a weekend, and we might have 12 girls show up, and we did all this work. And then the past 2 years we had 60, and then we have 50, so those girls, if they're in foster care, or they're in a group home, or they're in a dysfunctional family, or they're a naughty gal, they're not going to get there on a weekend,
Yeah.
So having it part of the school, and just like that one girl said on the video, I like not going to class. Okay, if that's how we get you there, that's fine. And then she loved it. That was her second year. She came again this year and was on our planning. Something, because it wasn't part of getting in partnerships. But another piece that has just been wonderful is that we've always had a student advisory committee. And those girls are pretty much from the continuation high school. And the girl that spoke as the alumni on that video, she's so bright and done. She was at the online school, had troubled family stuff going on, but as smart as she was and as dynamic as she was, she said to me, I never ever had gotten to be in a leadership role before. And I was like, really?
Aww.
And so she loved that. And she loved coming and speaking to the Kiwanis, and she spoke at our big fundraiser too, the Denim and Diamonds. So I think that having that advisory committee of students is really key also.
That's awesome.
If I could share, one of the things that we did, because Hanford is a very small community, we did tie in the other high schools, but for the alternative schools, I had some of our members go and talk to the principals or the superintendents, and we were able to go and physically talk about Dream It Be It and talk about Optimist to like a classroom. And you know, teenagers, it's word of mouth. So I personally think that that helped us out a lot. Especially, I don't know if Learn for Life is a thing in your area, but it's kind of like a secondary school, and the director over there had us talk to all of the girls in his Learn for Life Academy. So just to speak on the program, and those are the girls that really need it. So if you're able to get contacts to go and speak to girls in person during the school day, that also helped a lot.
Right.
If I might share what helped with me to establish a relationship with school district was that superintendent to speak at meetings. And after that, I just built relationship with him. And then they invited me over to meet with all of the high school counselors to integrate the Dream It Be It program into the district. So now we've established like a long-term relationship with the school district. And, you know, so getting the flyers approved or doing outreach has become a lot more easier for us. So, I mean, finding if we can get the, you know, superintendents to connect with you guys or to come and speak over at the school or at a Optimist meeting, I mean, that's a great way to like build relationship.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I know we had the school counselor this year actually judge our Live Your Dream Award.
That's a great way to
also a good idea.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, I know that name. She's the school counselor for the high school, because I reached out to her for Dream It Be It about 6 times and I didn't hear back because it was a really busy time of year. So now I'm like, she's worked with us. Hopefully I can get a little bit in the door, my foot in the door.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But the other question I had was, so I'm trying to build and I want to follow up with the girls, because once a year is amazing, but it feels like to me, like the girl that, one of the girls in your video said something, she was from the continuation school. I don't remember what she said. I didn't write it down. So she just said like, oh, she never thought that she would do anything like this, or just, so how do you follow up with those girgirls?
Okay, so I can tell you what we're doing, and then maybe some of you have other things. So because on a school day, there's a certain amount of time constraint, you know, for busing and all, and it's hard to fit everything in. And we had gotten the feedback that the girls wanted more careers. So we had 5 career stations and did rotations around. So that was an hour and 45 minutes worth of that. And then we had 3 speakers. They really like the speakers, and we had a Live Your Dream, a past Live Your Dream, and she had also gotten the fellowship, and she was fantastic, came from Southern California. Anyway, we had those, but we did not, doing SMART goals and doing them right is really time intensive. So we briefly, each of the speakers talked about their goals, and the girls a little bit did, but then we had cards at each table that said, do you want to sign up for ongoing mentoring to work on setting goals, SMART goals? And do you want to do it individually or in a small group? Do you want to do it Zoom or in person? So I just finished sending out, you know, messages to all the schools, giving them the names of the girls. We had 21 of our girls respond that yes, they wanted to have a continued relationship. So we're trying that. Quite honestly, after dividing that all up and figuring out which members are gonna, because you can't meet one, you know, it can't be just one person. You have to have 2 people meeting with them. And I did clear with Jacqueline, though, if you guys are doing anything like this, she said, if we're meeting at the school, like in the library or a counseling center or something, you can, it can be just you. So that's kind of good. But if you're anywhere else, there needs to be 2 of you, even on a Zoom call, there needs to be.
Do you
So-
have to have the permission slip signed again? Because I asked that question for you guys. And if it's a barrier to have a permission slip signed to meet, to have coffee at Starbucks and mentor.
I have not, that's a really good question. Maybe I've been breaking the law. I have not signed an additional permission slip.
Okay. Okay.
For that, but I will ask Jacqueline just to be sure, but I don't think so. I think you're still covered under that original one. At least that was my take on it. And if you're at the school meeting with them. So I basically sent to each of the counselors at each of the schools the names of the girls and said, if you want to provide a time and a place that would be convenient, we'll come and do that. Or if they would prefer to meet us like at a Starbucks or a Me and Ed's Pizza or something, then we can do that. And we'll make all the contacts after that initial, follow up with the counselor. So that's one way. There may be. How about you, Gabby? Are you guys following up and doing something else afterwards?
So it's kind of been a little bit stressful with squeezing everything together because we basically had Dream It, Be It, and then 2 weeks later we had Live Your Dreams. Super duper close.
I hear you.
I'm setting up a meeting with my committee to discuss that because on the evaluation forms, we did have a lot of students that want mentoring, want an online group, wanted to follow us on social media and talk to us more. So that's something that I would like to do, but I obviously do need to discuss it with my committee. I'm sorry if you can hear my pets.
We did set up last year a private Facebook group, and we had a few girls that interacted, but not a lot. And I really don't know that you can on open communicate, social media, you really can't communicate that way. I mean, you really shouldn't even be sending individual emails. I always CC somebody on an email that I send to a girl. So
yeah, I was texted somebody, but I couldn't help it because there was like an opportunity for something else. And I was like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I also know your parents, so I hope it's okay.
Yeah. And, even if you just put a second person on the text, I've done that too. I know it's a shame to have to be that careful, but I think
I was a Boy Scout or Scouts now, Scout mom, so I know the rules. So
yeah.
The other thing was, do you guys do your dream boards before your conference or at the end of the conference?
We do it. It's the opening thing is what we do because it's a great way for the girls to kind of get relaxed, chat with each other, and know what they're doing. I don't know if any of you wondered what in the world on the video where the girls were throwing things. Did you? So I don't know if many of you know the snowball activity. Do you know this? No? Okay, so we've kind of adapted it and the girls love it. So we talk about overcoming obstacles, and the speakers all talked about huge obstacles. My goal in our speakers is like really horrible things they've been through, but how resilient they've been. And so that the girls, that some of them are really going through tough things, go, oh gosh, that's even worse than what I'm going through. And they're doing well. That's kind of my goal. So they each get a piece of plain white paper and they just write the obstacle that they want to overcome. They just write it on that. And then I tell them, wad it up, make a snowball. And then we have a timed snowball fight. And they get up and they throw, now get rid of that obstacle, get rid of it. And we don't do anything else. We just trash them afterwards, but it's like just kind of this act of getting rid of that obstacle. So it's fun.
Yeah. One of our guest speakers did something very similar. So she's a therapist and also a fitness instructor. So she's called the Fit Therapist, but she had the girls write down, what's weighing them down on a piece of paper and then destroy it. They also did an activity that we got our members to do as well, which was stand up if you've ever, felt you were mistreated because you were a woman, the color of your skin. And a lot of the evaluation forms, it was the girls were like, wow, I feel like I'm not alone, to see other women and girls go through exactly what I'm going through, whether it's divorced parents. We had a lot of girls that were in the DACA program and their parents weren't US citizens. So
Yeah, I think those things are really powerful. And the girls on the evaluation, so many of them mentioned, and like in that video, I'm not alone. There's other people, that are going through this. So I think that sounds great. So
Marie had her hand up earlier. Do you have a question or a comment?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment. We do have a Dream It Be It program. We don't do it through the schools because it's really kind of difficult with getting yourselves certified and clearance and that sort of thing. But we do it with an organization that provides after school programs for the kids. And we do middle and high school girls. So Rachel, I thought that might be, you said you have difficulty finding that type of girl to invite to the program. Maybe there's an organization in your community that provides like an after school program, and then you already have a venue wherever they go for the after school program, and they have a way of getting there. So it's worked for us. I found the conversation tonight very helpful. We don't do enough of reaching out in the community to get partners. And I think that that's where we need to place some more emphasis. So I appreciate everything, all the suggestions and experiences you've shared. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's a great
Oh.
idea too, about the after school programs. That would be a great way, Rachel, for you to maybe on your committee to explore that. What's already in existence, maybe some latchkey kind of things. Of course, maybe high school that isn't as prevalent, but you might be able to find some things.
Right.
I don't know where you're at, or what organizations are in your surrounding area, but if you're looking specific for the underserved population, which I completely agree that they would benefit from like the Dream It Be It program the most, agencies like the foster care agencies or CWS, sometimes just going in there and requesting a meeting and presenting them with the Dream It Be It information and some of the support that we can provide. Like a lot of times those companies, even some of the community mental health agencies, because they are like aware of the girls that would benefit most from the services, and then they mostly all reside within the underserved population. And like those girls specifically, like hearing that story from a speaker, from someone who has been through like many obstacles, overcame, and are a phenomenal woman, serving as attorneys and doctors or teachers, those are stories that they need to hear, because that's what's going to motivate them internally to say, I can do this too, which is a great way for us to kind of present the Dream It Be It information to the different community agencies. So that was just my thought. I wanted to share that with you.
I think too, don't forget about doing small group and doing 2 or 3. Maybe you pick 3 of the different sessions and you go to some of the places that Serena just mentioned and offer to do that. And I know that all of those groups, foster agencies and all, they are overwhelmed with work, so they would hopefully welcome people coming in to help in that way.
I think this last year I had big goals. Like my goals were bigger than what I could do, and I was like, okay. And then my co-chair, who was also my advisor, she was like, just do it the way it's always been done, which we always hate to hear, but she's like, just do it this way because it's your first one, so you get an idea. And I did that, and I was like, okay, I know. And it was still pretty successful. It's like 17 girls, which was a lot compared to what we've had before. But I was like, I want to go to the juvenile hall and Dream It Be It there, which is still my big goal. But it is, I think I'm starting to develop partnerships, and it's hard to get those girls to want to come. And I'm like, I just got to bribe them. I love the $250 like the for participation tickets. I'm gonna do that from now on. Like you get a ticket if you participate.
Contact the Assistance League is all over the country. Find out if you have an Assistance League near you, because and you could say, contact the Fresno Assistance League and see what they did and how they liked it. That would be a great way, because they were just so enthused.
Well,
You know,
there's a juvenile hall like right up the street, like right up an hour away. And I'm like, we're gonna go there. They're in jail. What else are they gonna do? They
Don't give up, Rachel.
Right? Oh, I'm gonna recruit you, because aren't you in the Sierra Pacific region? Judy?
Yeah, we all are.
So you know what I'm talking. The juvenile hall's right by you, I think.
We have, well, I mean, I'm in the city.
Oh, okay. I don't know. A mom that worked there, actually, her daughter came to our Dream It Being event. And so I'm going to talk to her. But anyways,
good idea.
You and Sharon are going to help us.
I definitely know how you feel on it being your first year and trying to make changes. I went a different route with my dream board. So we didn't do dream boards. I had journals made for the girls with journal prompts and something that they could take home. And the cover page was like a picture of themselves at it. And then I have a niece that's graduated from one of the high schools that was involved. I only got maybe 4 girls from that high school, which one of them was my niece and basically our friends. But I sticked on trend. Our theme this year was year 2000, and the girls had a lot of fun, but I know how stressful it can be trying to make changes to something that's been done a couple of times.
Yeah, but I think changing it up, and because you have girls returning, now we're having girls come back multiple years, so you have to do something a little bit different.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, please don't hesitate to email or call me if you have questions, and I'm happy to, Rachel, I'm happy to sit down and really dig into it with you and help in any way I can. So let me know. Oh, and you guys go into all of the websites, because a lot of different clubs post videos and pictures, and I don't know, I think a visual helps a lot of times. That's why I showed you that one. It just kind of gives you some ideas. I know the Sierras has one up. We have one. We'll have another one by Friday. We'll have this year's up. So I would encourage you to look at those just to get ideas, kind of get your brain going.
There was one, I always look at the Dream It Be It. There was one with a woman who was a plumber, and they have like this huge career workshop, and she's like, I brought all my tools. Was it yours or no?
No, it wasn't, but we did a lot of hands-on. Probably the coolest thing is Reedley College brings their flight simulator.
Oh, wow.
And the girls find out what it's like to fly an airplane. Oh my God. And they have no idea that there's careers in that for them, and airplane mechanics and all. So yeah, any of that hands-on stuff, they love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Linda.
You're so welcome.
Super helpful. Thank you all for joining, and love to hear your ideas and your enthusiasm. And please don't be afraid to change things up.
No, don't be afraid.
You know what? You're willing to take on the job. I think you should do it the way you want to. But that's just me. I mean, there's a place for learning and respecting what's been done, but don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Judy, will you be sure to save the notes from the chat for me and send them to me?
Yes, I sure will.
Okay,
I sure will. And I'm going to stop the recording.